Well, welcome everyone to Ashland, Nebraska, where this afternoon, two top teams in their respective classes clash as the number 3 rated team in Class B, the Omaha Roncalli Crimson Pride. They take on the number 1 ranked team in Class C1, the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays, in a rematch of last year's championship match where the Crimson Pride knocked off the Blue Jays in this championship game of the very same Ashland-Greenwood Holiday Tournament. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Washburn. I am joined by the most talented broadcasting team around. We've got back from college, the very talented, very wise Andrew Berman. He'll be doing some technicals today and chiming in. And of course, the man on my far right today, Jordan Wallman, the Hastings College All-American. He's won a state championship on the basketball court with Jim Weeks. And it is good, fellas, to be here today. Happy holidays to both of you guys.
Thanks, Tim. How did Christmas treat you?
You know what? It treated me far too well. And what a great present this is, huh?
It's been an awesome day of basketball, and it caps off day one with a huge matchup.
This is going to be something special. Andrew and Jordan and I just a week ago watched Ashland-Greenwood play Wahoo in a wonderful, highly skilled game. And now we've got two teams today that like to get out and run, and two teams that want to try to stop the transition game. Coach Mose from Ashland-Greenwood has made it one of his top priorities, try to get Roncalli into their half-court offense, limiting easy buckets. But Coach Mose believes that this Crimson Pride team has, in his own words, quote, Evan Shepard-like speed, end quote. So how do the Blue Jays slow down Roncalli, Jordan?
The best way to stop transition offense is by taking care of the ball. So as we're operating inside of that half court, turnovers are going to result in that speed playing a huge factor. You're going to box out well. You're going to really, when you shoot a 3, you're going to send some guys back. Long rebounds. When you miss layups, that's kind of one that's not as obvious. When you shoot a layup and everyone's conjoined under the rim looking for that rebound, that's a breakout opportunity. So just being very intentional about that. The who are you sending back versus who are you going to offensive rebound, and really value that basketball.
So let's flip that script. Roncalli knows all about the Blue Jays and their athleticism. What kind of defense will they need to devise today, Jordan, to slow down an Ashland-Greenwood squad that's shooting over 60% from the field on the year? Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing stat. A couple years ago, Roncalli came down here, and Kale had a really good day. Roncalli traditionally is really locked into that man-to-man defense. They haven't shown a zone in the past, so what you have to do is you have to offer opportunities for people to help off of Kale and really slow him down. That's just tough with the Blue Jays this year, but Roncalli's an athletic team. They're maybe a little bigger than they have been in the past, especially with Jake Orr. He's 6'2", he's a good athlete. They'll probably lock him on Kale, but it all starts with slowing down Kale.
Well, I know you guys like numbers, especially Andrew Berman, who lives by numbers, so let me throw one out for you. Ashland-Greenwood, they want to hold teams. Once a game, they want one quarter where they can hold them under 10 points of scoring output. But how good has this Ashland-Greenwood defense been this year? They are averaging 3 quarters for the season now, in 3 of their 4 quarters a game, where they give up less than 10 points a quarter, including the 4th quarter, where so far this year they've only given up 7.4 points on average in the 4th quarter. What makes this Blue Jay D so good, and how can Roncalli counter it?
Those are astonishing numbers. It kind of starts with the Jims and the Joes, and right now Coach Mose has really good players. Second thing is understanding your scheme. He's taught great man defense, great gap man defense since the youth program, and we've said it before on this broadcast, but a good man really should look like a zone. Everyone's number 1 priority is the ball, and then your number 2 priority is reacting to things that happen. And Blue Jays are getting steals. Blue Jays are contesting shots. They're getting rebounds. All that leads to a stifling defense.
Andrew, I got to ask you this. I heard you on the replays on Twitter this week, and One of your comments last Tuesday against Wahoo was you'd never heard a crowd this big or seen a crowd this big and heard them as loud as last Tuesday night. Holiday tournaments have a tendency to be a little sleepier. You don't have a pep band. You're in the middle of the day. How do these two teams respond to a little more quiet of an atmosphere today?
Well, both of these teams are extremely athletic and explosive. They both like to move the ball very fast. They're both incredibly quick in transition, so they have to kind of create their own momentum, and I feel like if one team gets out to a big lead, their side is going to start rocking a little bit more, and it might not be as loud as it was against Wahoo because that was crazy, but they're going to be able to get momentum on their side if either team can jump out to a big lead. So Blue Jays just have to hope that they can do that first.
Well, folks, this is the fourth of 4 games today. The Ashland-Greenwood girls just moments ago won, so they're in the championship tomorrow. And on the boys' side, Fremont Bergen won their game against Plattsmouth, so they await the winner of this game. And so here we go. Let's get the starting lineups right now, as Omaha Roncalli will be the visitors, and their starting lineup goes this way in the backcourt. Brent Heller, a 5'9" junior. He'll be handling the ball, as well as Austin Schwartz, a very talented scorer. He's a 6'3" senior, averaging 13 points a game. Another very skilled scorer is Quincy Evans. He's a 6'1" senior, averaging just over 13. And then you heard Jordan Wallman talk about Jake Orr. 5 assists a game, 10 rebounds a game, 14 points a game. He's a 6'3" senior. And Lucas Brown will round out their starting 5. He's a 6'5" senior. For the Big Blue, it'll be Cale Jacobson. He does a little bit of everything for Ashland-Greenwood, averaging almost 16 points a game. He's a 6'4" senior. He'll be joining in that backcourt by Brooks Kissinger, a junior at 6'1", averaging just over 8 a game. And the third guard in this lineup, Evan Shepard. He's a senior, averaging 10.4 games, a 6'1" senior. And then you've got Max Parker, one of the forwards, along with Cougar Konzum. Max Parker, that 6'5" senior, and Cougar Konzum, a junior at 6'3". The Blue Jays will be moving right to left here in front of us, as it'll be Max Parker going up against Lucas Brown, and this will be a good jump ball opportunity. The officials, Troy Steele, CJ Cooper, and Jim Porter, and it will be the Blue Jays who get the basketball on the opening tip. And there's a little man-to-man defense here to get things started for Roncalli, as Shepard, who's so dangerous, cutting to the hole, has the ball, finds Konzum. And we got a whistle on a travel. Cougar might have traveled twice that time.
Yeah, Cougar saw an opportunity to give that thing off to a teammate. The opportunity closed, and Cougar's feet didn't stop. So it's all right. The Blue Jays off the bat are showing a commitment to curl cuts, flare cuts. They're happy to see a man-to-man defense.
Here comes Roncalli. They've got a very athletic, fast bunch. Coach Mo said this is by far the most speed this Blue Jay squad has seen so far. And here's a great move in the paint, but a steal by Kissinger, who did a good job of doing a number on Evans. And he comes up, and we've got a whistle and a foul on the floor, as they're going to rule Heller reached in and got Brooks.
Good call there. I was kind of worried they were going to get Brooks with the push-off, but they're going to say as Heller attacked that ball low, got some arm.
First foul of the game here. 7:19 to go first quarter. Great entry pass to Parker. Max high off the glass, textbook, and it's 2-0.
Another way to stop transition offense is to score the ball, create dead ball opportunities.
Here comes Roncalli, working off a pick. Not able to get their transition game rocking and rolling yet, but they will desperately want to. Here's a reach and a foul on one of the Blue Jays. I believe that might be on Evan Shepard. Let's see who they called on. Yep, they're going to call it on. They're calling it on, let's see here. They're going to call it on the Blue Jays. They're saying number 22. Help me out here.
I think that's a missed call. 22 isn't on the court right now.
I was just going to say, I don't have a 22, and so they're having a little conference to figure it out. They're going to call it on Cale Jacobson. So he draws an early foul, 1:01 into it. And that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. As Heller finds Evans in the corner. Roncalli working it around. There's a good move in the paint. Turnaround jumper. And that is a bucket for Lucas Brown, the 6'5" senior.
He's smooth with the ball. It's a really good move by him, showing some overstep footwork. He's going to get some one-on-ones today.
Here comes Cale the other way. A little bit of a late decision, so the ball's knocked down by Brown and stolen out of there by Orr. Tight contest early. Here's Evans on the drive, has the ball stripped, bodies flying. Evans comes up with it. He's in trouble, and it will be stolen, and this will be Shepard. He's got numbers, finds Kissinger, right-handed layup high off the glass, and the Blue Jays have their lead.
Both teams play really well in transition. Whoever wins that battle and takes care of the ball might be the team that comes out on top today.
Blue Jays in their man-to-man. This defense has been exceptional all year long. And here comes Evans. Will get in the paint. Great dump off to Brown. Brown makes the Blue Jays pay.
Quick teams have a tendency to occupy, help defense, and then give that ball away. Great move by Roncalli and finding an open player.
Pretty pass there by the Crimson Pride. And back the other way comes Max Parker with a one-handed shot put, and he puts the Blue Jays up 6-4. Parker with 4 already. Both these teams getting at it. As the Crimson Pride, Orr is going to kick it out to a wide open Evans, and he'll knock it home, and the Crimson Pride regains the lead at 7-6. Blue Jay faithful coming in for this holiday tournament game. The 26th year that Ashland-Greenwood has hosted this tournament. As Kissinger has it in the corner, gets in the paint, gets away from Evans, floats it up, won't go. Max Parker with an offensive board. He'll put it back for his 6th point. Can't get it, and then commits the foul coming over the back of Orr.
You know, right now, both teams are showing an ability to really break down the defense. I've been thoroughly impressed by how quick Roncalli is, and not just one guy or two guys, but like every time somebody touches the ball, they've got some athleticism.
Well, and we've not seen any kind of transition from either one of these two teams early on. Jake Orr is going to pull up a 16-footer that misses off the left side of the rim. Shepard wants to run. Gets it out to Jacobson. In the corner to Cougar. Good ball movement. Max with an open 3 ball. Just a little bit off the right side of the rim. And Orr will rip down the board. Heller against Shepard. In some trouble. Almost had that picked by Evan. You give him another chance there, I think he gets that ball.
Off to the races at that point, but good job holding on to that ball and winning for Roncalli.
Great entry pass to Orr. He dumps it off to Brown. He'll pull up 7-footer. No one came out to get him. Good scouting on behalf of the Blue Jays. And back the other way comes Cale. Cale gets in the paint. Orr does a good job of defending, but the bucket is good, and credit that by Austin Schwartz defending. And the Blue Jays now up by 1.
Too smooth, Cale Jacobson. That's all I got to say on that one.
I like that nickname, by the way. Back the other way comes Heller. Shot blocked by Cale. Quick pass to Kissinger. Left-handed layup. No good, and Schwartz with the board. And here comes Roncalli running. Now we're starting to see some transition. It's Orr in the paint. Over a defender. Can't get it to fall. Cale with a quick pass out. Look at Kissinger stepping through, and we say no bucket. He was fouled on the floor. Coach Mose is out to half court to talk with Troy Steele.
If I'm being 1,000% honest, I don't love the call, but it's a great balance because there was a spin play with Orr on the other side that Roncalli was unhappy with. So I think it's great balance from the refs so far.
2 team fouls against both teams. Here's the entry pass to Kissinger. Spin move in the paint. Bounce pass to the corner to Max. Max is going to attack, and he traveled. Took an extra step. And emotions are high here early on in this game, fellas.
It is, and it's a great, Roncalli goes from a long athletic player on the inside to McCoy on the inside, who's more of a bruiser, and that might be a little harder for Max to contend with.
Roncalli trying to get the lead. If so, this would be the 3rd lead change in this game already. If they can score on this possession, Heller against Jacobson. Gets in the paint, dumps it off, and we got a whistle and a pick, I believe, on Heller. An illegal pick, let's see. Yep, they're going to call it on him.
Little DHO offense, little dribble handoff offense, and really all you're trying to do there is create advantages, and you're staying consistent with that. But part of that is you don't want to pick up silly fouls and create silly turnovers.
Well, McGill and Swift check in here for Roncalli. Dane Jacobson in, as well as Cade Bridges for the Big Blue. Blue Jays up by 1. Here's a skip pass to Cade Bridges, wide open. Bingo!
We saw Cale in the second half of Wahoo go to the mid-post. It was one of the first times we've seen that from him this year. Right off the bat in the first quarter, the Blue Jays are showing that they're going to stick with that.
Well, we've got a small student body here today, but they're chanting defense. Orr dumps it off, shot up, rolls around, will not fall. And that attempt was put up by Roncalli on the other end. And back come the Big Blue. Here's a pass to Kissinger in the corner. Missed everything, but a great offensive board. Look at the passing. There's Parker on the bunny. It went from Jacobson to Bridges to Parker in a millisecond, and the Blue Jays now lead 13-7.
It's great minutes from Dane, great minutes from Cade. They've done that all year. Just creates a different dynamic when we bring guys in, and you love seeing guys that are maybe a little bit undersized operate in the post by having high IQ, and that's a great play by Dane. Cade had an opportunity, great play by Cade to give that thing up. Love seeing that ball movement from the Blue Jays.
And I got to tell you, Andrew Berman, you are tracking some numbers here. What does it look like?
There's really nothing that's extremely notable early in this game. Both teams are playing pretty similarly, same number of turnovers. The only thing I've noticed that the Blue Jays are leading in is the fact that Roncalli has only shot 5 times from inside of about 10 feet. We've made 5 from inside of 10 feet. So we're getting the ball inside a little bit more effectively. And in a fast-paced game like this, that's usually a good thing.
Hey, a big shout out to Matt and Angie Bindler. They're stuck in the Miami airport down in South Florida. But the good news is Strive, it goes around the world. So they're watching down in Miami. And so we want to give a shout out to them. Hope they get back here soon. And so here comes Roncalli. This Blue Jay defense so good and holding them down to just 7 right now. And here's a move in the paint. Turnaround jumper that won't fall. Cale Jacobson skies and gets the board. And the Blue Jays coming the other way. Trying to make something happen. Coach Mo saying get to it. He's not happy with someone on the left side of the offense. And here's a 3-ball by Konzum. And it will get stuck atop the backboard. And that will be possession Roncalli. What'd Coach want there, Jordan?
Ball screens. You're playing against a man-to-man, and we haven't given Cale a little round of applause for the refs there. You want to get Cale going. His teammates have done a great job being active, but how do we create those opportunities? We set ball screens. So I think Mo's called it during the timeout, and then we didn't come out and do it.
And by the way, Nate McCoy in for Omaha Roncalli. He is a 6'4" senior. He's in the game as well as Quincy Evans, who has it right there. There's McGill. And you've got Orr in there, and there's Schwartz. Bridges pops out on Schwartz, who bounced past to McGill in the paint. Working high off the glass, won't go. Cale with great defense, and Bridges pulls down the board. Blue Jays looking to extend this lead here. Minute and a half to go first quarter. Oh, what a cut by Jacobson. But Cale wasn't able to thread that pass through. And Roncalli creates a turnover. And Carter Washburn in the student body rips down the errant pass. Just like in football season. Pulled in a few receivers.
Hey, he was all-state in both papers. That's shout out to Carter. I mean, it's hard to make it in one, let alone both. Basically, he's unanimous.
Got to tell you, though, I heard all about that from him. He's my nephew at Christmas time. I heard about both papers selecting him. We're actually thrilled for Carter. What a season that Blue Jay football squad had. Here comes Cale. Top of the key to his brother Dane, the sophomore. Working against McGill, bounce pass to the corner as Cougar trying to get free. Good, tough man-to-man defense by Roncalli here. Cougar working against Brown. He'll get in the paint, spin, let it fly, in and out, almost a 3-point opportunity. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I think maybe the difference between the Blue Jays, and Andrew, you kind of alluded to this a little bit, is as the Blue Jays get to that 6-foot, 7-foot range, they're converting. And I think that's exactly what you said. So many times when Roncalli's driving, they're highly contested, maybe not taking a great shot. They're getting by their guy, but they're not converting.
The Blue Jays' help side defense is definitely there, and it's making everything difficult once Roncalli actually does get into the paint. They're only 2 for 6.
Cougar misses both of those free throws. He was shooting 67% coming into the game. And now we're under a minute to go. 6-point lead for the Big Blue. Cale Jacobson checked out. Here's Orr with a great pass to Evans. He'll give a ball fake. Pull up from 15, won't fly, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Roncalli. It'll be Blue Jay ball.
After the Wahoo game, I had a request from Coach Tyler Craven. He said that he wants an acknowledgement of the defense when you force a team into a 15-footer. So, Tyler, this one's for you as you listen down the road. Good defense by the Blue Jays there.
And a guy that can help do that is Drake Zimmerman. He's in the game. He's a sophomore, along with Evan Shepard, who checked back in. Dane is going to drive left baseline. Jacobson skips it out. And so Brooks will attack. And his shot is blocked. And Schwartz will come out of there with it. He wants to run. Working against Zimmerman, kicks it out. There's 18 seconds to go here in the quarter. Roncalli's going to hold. 4-1. As Jacobson comes out to meet Orr. Crossover dribble. What a pass underneath to Brown. Ball fake off the glass. They score. What a play by Orr to Brown to make it 13-9. And there's a shot by Evan Shepard at the buzzer that misses. But my goodness, that was some beautiful ball work from Orr to Brown.
And that's another thing, Roncalli. That's where they're really finding success is on those drives. Like Andrew said, the help side comes over and then they dump off. It's a great strategy because you know the Blue Jays are locked into dumping down on Evans, Schwartz, and Orr. Just when they do that, they're finding a lot of success.
And we talk about single-digit quarters right when this game started. We got one right there. Now it is a low-scoring game overall, so there isn't a huge difference between our points put up and theirs. But we were able to hold them under 10, and that's a good precedent to set in the first quarter.
The Blue Jays averaging just 9.6 points given up in the first quarter. They gave up 9 there. And Coach Mo said to me, and he doesn't use superlatives too often. He keeps pretty calm, but he said that is an absolutely mind-boggling stat that going into this game, after 5 games, the Blue Jays have held their opponents to under 10 points on average in 3 of the 4 quarters.
And it's not like they've been playing bad teams either. They just got off of Wahoo, and they're still holding these excellent offenses to low points. They're doing something right this year.
That is broadcast gold right there. Andrew Berman, good point. And Milford, who, of course, a top 10 ranked team in Class C1. So we are ready for second quarter play. Blue Jays up 4. Jacobson, Shepard, Parker, Konzum, and Kissinger out there for the Big Blue. And there's Evans along with Orr, Schwartz, Heller, and Brown. The 5 starters for the Crimson Pride. And look at this move by Schwartz to make him 13-11. Man alive, what a play.
He's quick, and he might be the 3rd most athletic guy on his own team, but that's just a quick move getting to his spot.
And Kale has the ball knocked out of bounds. They said it went off his right hand. So there's a turnover for Jacobson. And now the Crimson Pride with a chance, Andrew, to either tie or take the lead.
Well, early on in this game, they weren't able to get the ball inside, and now it's really close if you actually look at the numbers. They're getting inside, and they're actually converting when they do.
Brown pops up on that left elbow. Shepard harassing Schwartz. Oh, there's a beautiful cut by Evans, but he misses the layup. Good job by Parker. Max will take it on the left side. Blue Jays up 2 with the ball. Konzum finds Kale. Blue Jays being patient. They've been so good at getting that open look this year. But Evans with the steal. He's going the length of the court and a little simple right-handed layup. That's all he needs to tie it at 13. Evans with 5. And Orr almost with another steal. And the Blue Jays showing just a little frustration, a little chatting going on between some of their players.
Yeah, Roncalli's really picking up the pressure, and the Blue Jays are just a little sleepy right now. You have to advance. You have to attack high pressure.
Kale kicks it out to an open Cougar Konzum. Misses off the rim, and the rebound down to Orr. Did a beautiful job blocking out Parker. Here's a high lob that's stolen by Jacobson. Jacobson running, 3-on-3. He's going to go all the way. His layup is good, and they'll give him the bucket as Heller just picked up his 3rd foul.
Great job by Kale. Transition the other way, missed layup. Kale takes advantage, goes coast to coast, and continues to show that balanced footwork on the other end, picks up the foul.
Well, you guys know how good this stat is. Kale just had that steal. He's averaging over 4 steals a game. That is phenomenal at the high school level.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I think in the NBA, if you average 2, you're among the league leaders. So steals are kind of a stat that you're not going to get 10. So 4 is an absurd amount. That is a lot of steals.
And he hits the free throw to make it a 3-point Blue Jay lead. Crimson Pride with the ball again, though. And working it is Weibel. Jake Weibel, who checked in the game. They kick it out to an open Schwartz for a 3 ball. Good look, but a rebound down to Kale. Jacobson running. Surveys the court. finds Cougar, who will attack, and he's fouled from behind. I think they're going to call this on Evans. That will be the 6th team foul. Coach Stoffel not at all happy with the call.
You know, I wondered on Kales as well. Does he lose the ball without the contact? So Kales did not go in our favor either way, and that one a little bit more.
Entry pass stolen. Boy, Roncalli plays some D. Here's McGill running the other way. Right-handed layup makes it a 1-point game.
Take care of the ball on offense, but good steal and run by McGill.
Two teams that really know how to play the D. Here's Cale Jacobson now. Pull-up jumper from 15, misses everything, and the rebound down to Evans. And again, the Crimson Pride could take the lead, and there's a foul by Evan Shepard as he came out to jump the pass and just ran in to McGill. 5:38 to go first half. Dane Jacobson's going to check in for Evan Shepard. He has 1 foul. And so this game, no one can really grab momentum, can they?
No, I agree with you 100%. The adjective I think of is just a little sleepy. He doesn't have the energy of a 1 versus 3 matchup.
Weibel nearly traveled, dumps it off to Heller. Excuse me, folks. And here's Evans. Good defense by the Big Blue. Roncalli being patient. McGill says I'll attack. Misses the left-hander. And Max Parker with yet another board. Cale, beautiful crossover. Stops at the block, goes high up the glass and knocks it home to give him the Big Blue a 3-point lead, 18-15, and Coach Mose wants a timeout with 5:01 to go in the first half.
Great job by Cale on the last one. Gets to his spot, gets to 2 feet, is patient, elevates. Those are the plays that Coach Mose wants. 2 feet, so that's great controlled basketball by Cale.
Well, one of the things that Coach Mose wanted, Andrew, in this game is he wanted to limit the impact of Jake Gore, who's averaging 14 a game and 5 assists. We don't know how many assists he has offhand, but we know he has not scored. So what are the Blue Jays doing on Jake Gore?
Well, just like we talked about at the end of the first quarter, they're playing very physical inside, and it's very difficult for Roncalli to get anything to fall. Now, they've been doing a little bit better here in the second quarter, and the Blue Jays have kind of fallen off in that area. They've turned it over a few times trying to get it to the inside, and they haven't taken advantage like they did in the first. They still have the lead here, but they need to make sure that they keep up what they did in the first quarter instead of starting to turn the ball more over.
By the way, sorry about that, I stepped on you. Big shout out to Jay Toomey down in Weeping Water today. He and that coaching staff at Weeping Water last year won the state championship in Class C2. And he's a heck of a golfer, and he is sitting at home watching this game on Strive, and he knows a thing or two about X's and O's. He coached here at Ashland-Greenwood, too, back in the day in the 90s. So he gave me the game plan coming in here, Jordan. I think he's got it down.
Tell him we appreciate it. We always love insight, and Lord knows we need some of it sometimes.
3 ball put up to tie it by Jake Weibel. We're deadlocked at 18. Dane Jacobson says, I'll spin, and he just lost his footing. Slipped down, lost the ball. McGill's going to run. Over Cale Jacobson, tipped around. Here comes Schwartz with the putback. Can't get the bunny, and Dane Jacobson back with a long outlet to Brooks Kissinger. Layup, and it won't fall. Tip try will not go for Cale Jacobson. Evans kicks it out. Wow, we had some fast and furious pace for a moment. Back in the half-court set, but what an entry pass to Evans. Layup, good. What do we have? We got a travel on Evans and Stoffel. Coach Stoffel is 8 feet out of the court. He is furious. I think the crowd might just picked him up.
Oh, man, it's intense.
I love it. This is basketball, folks. This is good high school basketball. Got some intensity. Both coaches into it. Here's Cale Jacobson. Crossover in the paint. Being guarded by Schwartz. Great job by Schwartz, and they give him a clean block. Can he track it down? He does. Running the other way is Orr. Orr crossover. Pass out. Weibel for a 3. And he has come off the bench to hit 2 trays to give the Crimson Pride a 3-point lead. Kissinger gets in trouble. We got a whistle. He lost the ball. And right now, we talked about no team getting momentum. It's now swaying on the side of the Crimson Pride.
Yeah, I used the adjective sleepy to kind of describe this, and that is no more. Roncalli's here. They're bringing energy. They're hitting threes, and right now they got a 3-point lead.
You might have been using the word sleepy, but to me it's looking a little bit sloppy here. Only 3 turnovers in the first quarter for the Blue Jays. They've had 6 so far in the second.
Wow. They are averaging just 8 turnovers a game, so they are above their season average with 3:22 to go in the half. And there Schwartz gets fouled by Parker. And the Blue Jays being tested at a level that they have really, granted, Wahoo did have a 28-25 lead late in that second quarter. But this is a big-time test right now from Roncalli.
It is, and you know, Class B teams, more kids to choose from, bigger, better competition day in, day out. But teams are defined by how they face adversity, and this is one of the biggest pieces of adversity that Ashland's maybe had so far this year.
You know, it's interesting, though. Roncalli has played West Point, Boys Town, Hardington Cedar Catholic, which I believe is C2, and Concordia, which is C1. So they really haven't had that big, brutal Class B schedule yet.
And I take it back.
Here's a pass underneath the Kissinger. Hits the buddy. But your point is well taken, Jordan Wallman.
Thanks, Dan. And we talked about that before the game. Why did I?
Here comes Orr. He answers.
His first step is so quick. I mean, he's just by guys in a blink of an eye.
This is the kind of athleticism we knew we'd see as Kissinger has a cleared out right side off the glass. Brooks hits it home. It's 25-22. Kissinger with 6.
It's chaos. It's chaos in here. It just feels like every second there's something happening that needs your full attention. It's fun, but my heart's racing a little bit.
Mine too, as the level of play has really picked up. The quality has it. Look at McGill. He tries to do a spin move that won't fall. Cale gets the board. Long outlet to Evan Shepard. Back to Cale Jacobson. Blue Jays going to get in their half-court set. As Cougar trying to spin move. Great cut to the hoop by Kissinger. He scores. Great vision by Cougar, but Brooks with a great knowledge of cutting to the hole.
Yeah, Brooks is having a good game. I'm not sure how many points he has or what he's shooting right now percentage-wise, but he's making an impact.
He's got 8. And here's McGill. Short. Shepard. He wants to gallop out of there. Can the Blue Jays retake the lead with Cade Bridges? In and out. Rebound down to Orr. Bridges had already hit 1 3. Here's a skip pass. Weibel, who is red hot. Short this time. A little too far out for him, I think. But the way he was shooting with his 2 trays, you can't blame him for taking that.
Looked like a bit of a heat check there.
Cale, left alone. Kicks it out. Bridges, left baseline drive. He'll kick it out. They find him again. Great look by Shepard, and Shepard says, oh, Cade, take that. But he was a little too far underneath the bucket. Shepard put his palms up to the sky as if to say, man, you had it. Cale Jacobson, step through, fade away, off the glass, can't get it to fall. Man alive.
Yeah, that would have been great. 2 things are happening right now. Number one, Roncalli, last couple possessions, has shown some willingness to be conservative and not play with so much pace. Second thing is the Blue Jays are really starting to sink off of Orr. Maybe daring him to shoot, but not letting him drive and facilitate like he's done.
Well, it looks like Roncalli is going to hold for 1. They are up 25-24. It's the number 1 ranked Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays. Coach Mo said, step back, that's fine. We're going to let him hold the basketball. Brett Sapp, who called some games with me years ago, always says this is his favorite part. I always say this, his favorite part of high school basketball. As the clock will be milked here with a minute to go. We're down to 20 seconds. And still holding it as Orr. When will they attack? You know it's going to be about that 10-second mark. They move McGill inside. They're starting to set it up. There goes Schwartz. Now they go 4 across with 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Blue Jay fans on their feet. Orr puts up a long 3. Oh, my! What a play call by Stoffel. And here's the shot at the buzzer. Just misses by Cade Bridges. Hey, give Stoffel credit there. Coach Stoffel says, let's go 4 across. And then what does Jake Orr do? He hits a 24-footer.
Yeah, right as I said, the Blue Jays are starting to play off of him. He comes up and hits a big shot. Yeah, I mean, Roncalli definitely picked up and won that second quarter. 4-point game, but, man, talk about an entertaining first half of basketball.
Andrew, your thoughts on this first half, 28-24 Roncalli lead?
Well, Roncalli really got a lot more physical there, and something that they are doing a lot better than us is they're hitting threes. They are 4 for 6 from beyond the arc. So they're not shooting a ton, but we're only 1 for 6. So if we were shooting anywhere near as good as them, we would have the lead right now. It's still a close game. It's definitely not over by any means. It's only 2-possession ball game here. But the Blue Jays do need to be able to shoot a little bit better, and they have to get back to their bread and butter a little bit, getting back into the paint, because that's where they were doing so good in the first quarter.
I think we've got Dave Hubert, by the way, coming up for the halftime interview, whose team just won, and they're in the finals tomorrow. That's going to be so much fun to see the Blue Jay girls try to play for a championship. But such a great point, Andrew, about them hitting threes, and no team has really been able to do that against the Blues this year. But, man, are they shooting well, and I can't wait to hear their shooting percentage in that first half. So Reese Hogue is coming up here. And no, we got Dave Hubert. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought he was grabbing the mic. Coach, we're going to give you this right here and get you we're going to get you mic'd up here. You just sit right here, bud. And, again, 28-24, we got the halftime dancers. You got some room there, Coach?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
There we go.
We're good.
Well, hey, Dave Hubert's joining us here for halftime chat. You guys in a tough one today against Roncalli, but you pull away, hold on. You win by 3 over a very good team from Roncalli, and you got to be thrilled to be playing for a championship tomorrow in your first season.
Yes, we're thrilled. We coming off the break like that, we are a little disappointed in how we played because we always work to play your best game, and we definitely didn't do that. But sometimes like you said, you take the win and you move on.
Coach, when you went into that game, what were some things you were trying to do against Roncalli, and were you able to successfully do those things?
Well, we thought that we'd be able to turn them over a little bit more in the full court, so we were really working our press hard, and we were giving up. We were giving up too many layups over the top. So probably the smartest thing we did was quit pressing.
Sometimes that works, right?
Yeah.
To pull out of it.
Yeah, we did. We pulled out of it, and we couldn't keep number 10 in front of us. She had 12 points in the first half. She had over half the points. And so we said, all right, let's pull back, half-court D, keep her in front of us, don't give them layups. And then basically that's how we kind of got back in it.
Well, I don't know if you know Andrew Berman. He was one of our student broadcasters last year, did a great job. He's back from college, and he had a chance to call your game. So I'm going to let Andrew ask you a couple of questions here as well.
In that first half there was something that the Blue Jays tended to struggle with, was allowing the other team to really drive into the paint and attack and finish very well. What adjustments were made at halftime to sort of fix that so it wasn't as big of a problem?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you. We got after him a little bit at halftime and said, no more, we're done. Number 10, no more. Everything's right-handed, if you notice, so we basically had to force her left. And we said, we are going to stay in front of her. We're not going to reach. And some of it was just playing better defense, more sound. And they give the girls credit. They buckled down, and I don't know what she had the second half, but it wasn't even close to 12, I don't think. She got a couple, I think, 2 or 4 maybe.
Anything else there, Andrew?
It was definitely noticeably better defense there in the second half. There,
I bet you felt a lot better.
As you said, a lot of the drives were right-handed.
She's fast. This kid, she's just flat out. And tomorrow, Bergen's got a couple kids like that. They've got a point guard that ran I think a 225 800 in junior high or in 8th grade, and she's which is pretty fast for a middle school kid. And a good athlete, and she's fast like that. And I noticed today when I was scouting, a lot of their stuff was her going to the rim just like that. So we've got to do a better job against that.
So I've always been intrigued when you're in a tournament like this. You don't have a lot of time to go home tonight, knock out a bunch of film, and then bring what you find from the film to your team. So how do you prep on such short notice and bring what you want to your team, in less than 24 hours?
That's a good point. I'll be honest with you. I was in there watching some other tape even before our game because we were done prepping them for Roncalli. So I couldn't watch any more of that. So we, behind the scenes, have been trying to anticipate maybe playing Bergen, and it turned out that way, but you never know. And so we were kind of looking at Plattsmouth and Bergen both, and you kind of got to weigh that out. Bergen's undefeated. They're really good. They can all shoot. They press. So we've had to spend some time, like you said, 5-day layoff. You don't have time to brush up on your press break tomorrow before the game. So we actually have already started that.
Well, good work there. And Andrew, don't let me cut you off. If you've got something for Coach, let me know. He's always good at putting his finger up, then I know. You know, you're in your first year. You're getting a chance to play for your first holiday tournament championship. And I just am curious, when you look back in May or June or whenever you were appointed, you know, the coach, knowing you had to replace 7 seniors, were you thinking, hey, at this point I want to be 4-3 and playing for a holiday tournament championship?
To be honest with you, no. A lot of people were telling us, Coach, be patient. A lot of young kids, you might, just different people were saying, you don't know. It could be in that 4, 5, 6 games you might win next year. We don't know, but, you know, just projecting. But we're at 4, and I think we're feeling like we're ahead of the game a little bit. And, you know, we're probably a little ahead of where we thought we'd be. Well, we didn't know JC was going to be out.
Right, and your starting point guard or you know, a guy that's really going to help you has got a hip injury.
Yeah, so that certainly has put pressure on us, but helped us develop some other kids. And so we really like it when she comes back. We like where we'll be, and we got good kids that are working. And, yeah, I'm pretty happy so far.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yes, and Andrew's got something here.
Something I noticed during, especially in the second half, there were a lot of possessions where there were 5 or more passes without a single dribble on the Blue Jay offense. And I was just wondering if that was intentional, what the goal of that was, what exactly you're going for with that offense.
Yeah, what you do is, and there's a delay game that you can use. And one of our strategies is in our delay game, we don't have any screening because you've seen that where you get an offensive foul, somebody's setting a screen and trying to use a screen and it goes the other way, right? So we try to limit the screening and the dribbling in our delay. And we had to delay for 3 minutes there, which is not easy. And so at 3-minute mark, we decided we have the lead, we're not giving it up. And that's kind of what we did. Tried to limit our violations, try to force them to put us at the line. And thankfully the girls showed some good patience and did some really nice things inside of 3 minutes. Because that game could have flipped just right back to.
No doubt it could have. Well, Coach, congrats. And good luck tomorrow.
Thank
Go
you.
Get that championship.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
you bet.
it.
Absolutely.
All
Dave
right.
Everett, who's been so
All
awesome
right.
coming
Thank
up
you.
here and helping us out anything we need. And now it's, of course, we're going to turn over to Mark for those
All
stats.
righty.
Mark, how they looking?
Well, you've heard that the game is closer than the score indicated, and that is definitely true here. The difference really is a couple threes that we had rattle out in the first half. And we are 11 of 22 from the field, 50%, but just 1 of 6 from 3, and that's going to have to improve to win this game. And like I say, a couple of those rattled in, it looks different. It's that close. We're 1 of 3 from the line. Cougar missed 2 and Kale hit 1. They didn't get there a lot. And neither did they. They're 2 of 2 from the line. They're 11 of 25 from the field, but they are 4 of 7 from 3. Weibel hitting those 2 threes really seemed to give them a spark. Rebounding, we've out-rebounded them 15 to 11. Kale has got 7 boards. We've got 2 offensive, they've got 1 offensive. Now another key here, we've turned the ball over 10 times, which is unusual for us. They've turned it over 6. So really, I said the girls' game was a winnable game. I think this is too. We've got to knock down some threes and take better care of the ball.
Hey, all right. Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate it. And we are so excited to bring in the second half, 28-24. And Andrew, give me your thoughts here. You've played for Coach Mose. What are some of the things he might be thinking?
Well, something that he talks a lot about is when you drive into the hoop, you can't be fading away. You can't be weak with the basketball, and that's something the Blue Jays have done very well. But they did it especially well in the first quarter. They kind of got away from it moving into the second. And it wasn't that they were being weak with the ball. They just weren't trying to get into the paint. They were settling for more outside shots, which is fine if if you're making them. And they unfortunately weren't, which is what allowed Roncalli to pull ahead. So they're going to have to either hit more of those threes or they're going to have to drive a little bit more often here.
All right. Jordan Wallman was doing some work here at halftime. He's back in the booth. We are ready for third quarter action as the number 1 ranked Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays in Class C1 taking on the number 3 ranked Omaha Roncalli Crimson Pride in Class B. And the Blue Jays will get the basketball to start this third quarter as Max Parker has it down on the block. They double him, and then they release that double team. But here's a cutting Cale Jacobson. Great job by Schwartz to cut him off. 3-ball, good by Cougar Konzum.
Andrew said it best. We need some three-pointers, and Cougars struggle a little bit from behind the arc. There he knocks that one home. Great shot, great make.
Well, last week, Coach Mose were telling the Blue Jays at halftime, keep going for it. Here's Cale in the open court. Bingo! He slams it home.
That one kind of caught up to me a little bit. I didn't get to scream for him, but man, that's exciting stuff from Cale.
You know when he gets a chance, he's going to put it down, and just like that, the Blue Jays up 29-28. Evans kicks it out to Orr. The kind of start you wanted, the kind of start they got last Tuesday against Wahoo, but Orr, he gives the Crimson Pride the lead back with a floater in the paint and a quick timeout by Coach Stoffel. He wants to talk things over. And what a flurry of activity in 56 seconds of this third quarter.
Man, this game just doesn't want to take a break. It just keeps moving at a fast pace and just keeps exciting us. Great steal by Cale. He's averaging about one huge rim-rattling dunk a game, as Tim Washburn would say. Love it. Great stuff, great momentum. And I wonder if Coach Stoffel didn't call a timeout there just to kind of kill the momentum and settle things down.
Well, Blue Jays were down 28-24 going into this third quarter, and they come out right away, took the lead at 29-28. And Andrew, you've been out there in that basketball court. You know how important momentum is, and Coach Stoffel just trying to slow things down a little bit, says Jordan. You agree with that?
Especially with teams like this, when it's a very high-intensity game, teams that like to play really fast, momentum has a huge impact on whether you're going to be more confident shooting the ball or if maybe you can make some more mistakes turning the ball over, whether your defense is better. So, yeah, stopping momentum is definitely a big thing.
Cale Jacobson, he wants to take it over. Tip try, no good by Cale. And the rebound coming down to Konzum. Oh, he looked underneath. He wanted to find Max, but he couldn't find him. Now we got a whistle, and a block going to be called on Schwartz.
And Schwartz kind of gave a look to the ref like, what do you want me to do? I'm doing everything I can right now. Cale's just big, strong, and slippery. He's very elusive.
Well, I think the Blue Jays might have been fortunate that time not to have a travel called on them, but you're going to have some calls go against you, and you're going to have some calls you win. And here's Cougar again, and too hard, and tracking it down is Brown. A whistle and a reach is going to be called on Cougar. Good to see, though, Konzum continuing to shoot. He struggled a little bit last year, shot just under 50% from three, which was ridiculous. This year, he's in that 30% range. But he continues to shoot because we know he can shoot.
Great shooter, and he's finding new roles this year.
Here's a whistle and a foul. They're going to call a block and a two-shot opportunity coming up for Evans. For Omaha Roncalli, you've got Evans and Schwartz, Brown, Heller, and Orr. And every time I see Orr, I want to say Johnny Orr, and I know that is not going to be correct. The great Iowa State coach. Here's the first free throw up and good.
Well, I was going to say, Andrew and I didn't really know what you were talking about, but Mark over here laughed, so I figured it was a reference from a little bit beyond my time.
Oh, he won a lot of games in the old Big 8, did Johnny Orr. Here's a second free throw. Up, no good. And the rebound coming down to Max Parker. Roncalli up 31-29. Kissinger in the paint. Dumps it off to Cale, off the elbow. Schwartz, he might be the MVP of this game. Schwartz has played phenomenal defense. He forces a miss there. And this kid isn't going to get enough credit, but man, his defense has been stellar. Orr kicks it to Schwartz. Baseline drive, looks to dump it off. They swing it around. Here comes Evans, going hard off the glass, and it's now a 4-point lead for the Crimson Pride.
Just like Andrew talked about, you can see the help defense there, but good job using control and good footwork for that.
And they're going to call an illegal pick on Cougar Konzum. As Troy Steele said, he stepped out. Coach Mose does a little arguing, but not much. And that'll be the second on Konzum.
I tell you, the pace of this game and the need to begin talking about defense as they bring the ball up really isn't allowing for coaches to argue too much with the refs.
And there's the student body for the first time tonight chanting defense.
Little 1-3-1 from the Blue Jays.
Ah, good call, Jordan Wallman. The Blue Jays switching it up. Heller will step back. Cale gives a little chase. They're getting Orr a long way from the bucket, but he splits that double team. Evans, no good. Rebound. Oh, what a job by Brown. That was just a hustle play. Look at Schwartz attack the rim, and he'll score. And that gets the Roncalli fans on their feet.
Off the jump, Roncalli looks a little bit slow when things start. Good job using that after halftime, but got a defensive rebound. Those second chance opportunities are super valuable.
Here comes Cale. Step back. Thought about a three. Finds Kissinger. He'll look to Max Parker for a three ball. Bingo!
Huge shot by Max. That absolutely was necessary. Puts us down 3, middle of the third quarter. This is a great time to not give up that lead.
Cuts it to 3, and Max Parker hit 4 threes against Wahoo in the fourth quarter last Tuesday. Heller being very patient. Cale's going to give chase. As Orr wants to figure out how to attack this. They're going to take their time and just play catch out top with this 3-point lead.
This exact same thing used to happen to us every time we go into a game against a team that plays 1-3-1. You just haven't practiced a break for years. You might have one in, but you don't know it like the back of your hand. This is new. This is different. It's challenging.
Orr kicks it out to find Heller right behind the 3 line, and he knocks it down. Beautiful patience on behalf of the Crimson Pride.
But that's exactly what you do. Take your ISO player, take your best athlete, get him in the lane, and kick it out for threes. Great job by Roncalli.
Parker, right baseline drive. Max in trouble. They double him, so he'll kick it out. Here comes Konzum, gonna go hard to the rim as they came chasing out to defend that 3, and a good job of awareness by Cougar to attack the rim. They're gonna call this on Jake Orr. That is just his first. 3:33 to go in the third. Cougar hits that first free throw.
Stoffel's not happy right now. He's still barking. You might be able to hear it in the crowd mic.
One thing the Blue Jays have done really good at, sorry to interrupt you there, is they've been able to limit the number of threes shot by Roncalli. And moving into a 1-3-1, they might not be able to do that as well. Another thing that we saw, they hadn't gotten a second chance opportunity all game. They hadn't converted on any of them. And then as soon as we switched to a 1-3-1, they ended up getting an offensive rebound. It's very hard to box out when you only have one guy under the rim.
Andrew, you get your thoughts in at any time, buddy. Don't you worry about it. We want to hear what you have to say because you're always right on. And here comes Orr in the paint. Look, spin move, a little too hard, and there's Cale Jacobson on the board.
Back in the man defense now.
He had 7 boards in the first quarter. First half, here's Seven Shepard attacking the rim. He's going to go hard to the court, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, Roncalli is really showing a commitment to challenging those shots on the inside. Unfortunately, it's resulting in fouls. This is going to be a close game. If teams are in the bonus, that could be a huge benefit with both teams at 3 fouls right now.
So Shepard, who has not yet scored today, and it gets dead silent here in the bird cage. He hits that free throw. His first point, he's averaging 10.4 to make it a 2-point Roncalli lead. You got Dane Jacobson in there, Max Parker, Evan Shepard, Cale Jacobson, Brooks Kissinger. And Jake Weibel just checked in for Roncalli. You've got Schwartz, who had a great rebound there, or McGill is in the game, as well as Evans. So here we go. As they walk up, Blue Jays come out of that 1-3-1. Roncalli up 2. Schwartz holds. Blue Jays will play their tough man-to-man, but Roncalli figured it out in the second quarter. Here's Evans. And Coach Tyler Craven up off the bench, putting his hands together, loves it. Here's Orr, left-handed layup. A nice move to make it a 4-point lead.
Man, Orr is shifty there. He gets to the 2-foot range and finishes. Love watching him play.
We got to travel on the Blue Jays. Just a couple of times they put the cart before the horse, and that's what happened there.
Did you make that up?
Well,
that's good.
Again, you got to realize I'm 54 years old. These were old sayings that my grandpa used to say. So
I'm gonna take that. That's a good one.
So here comes Orr. His team up 4. Blue Jays in that man-to-man. This has been a battle, and Orr will attack the rim off balance. Oh my goodness, he got it to fall.
He's just kind of taking over this game right now. Scored on 2 straight possessions. He's finishing at a higher clip than in the first.
Dane Jacobson for a 3, will fall, and the rebound coming down to Orr. He wants to run out of there. One-handed pass down to Schwartz. He'll attack the rim against Kale, and Kale's going to commit the foul. I believe that's just his second. And Kale having a little conversation with C.J. Cooper. And Schwartz going to the line.
This next minute 46 is very critical. What happens to the 6-point lead for Roncalli? 7-point lead. Are they extending it? Are we maintaining it? Or are the Blue Jays closing that gap? Because just like in the second quarter, Roncalli really has a lot of momentum right now.
Nick Kinney just checked in. Evans goes out. Schwartz puts up another one, and just like that, it's an 8-point game. Blue Jays feeling some heat now with 1:42 to go in the third. Kissinger with a left-hand dribble. Good movement on that defense of Roncalli. Kissinger tries to drive left baseline. Great job by Kinney, and then he commits the foul. And that'll put Brooks Kissinger in the line, and Kissinger shooting 92% on the year.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, is it?
That's NBA Hall of Fame all-time leader type numbers.
Well, he could really shoot, boy, as he really improved that, and his first free throw's up and good. And the Blue Jays needed that. 43-36. Conzum comes in. Max Parker's going to check out. 1:29 to go, third quarter. Blue Jay student body a little silent tonight. Second free throw up good.
One thing that's interesting, what's the difference in the score of this game? 6 points. Roncalli has 6 more points than the Blue Jays from beyond the arc.
There's our stats man. Andrew Berman always has it. Kinney has it. 1:14 to go. Schwartz, good crossover dribble in the paint, pulling up against Shepard. A little short. Evan, can he get the board? No, he can't. It's kicked around. Or on the floor, but alertly calls a timeout in front of Jim Porter and gets it. And so the Crimson Pride has stolen the momentum. They lead by 6 with 1:04 to go, and they're going to have the ball. So at this point, what do you start thinking, Jordan Wallman, if you're Coach Mose?
Oh, I don't know. You don't deviate too far away from what you already do. You have a high-powered offense. You look for transition. You look for kick-out threes. After Andrew made that comment about the threes, I'm kind of looking at his whiteboard like, where does he keep all these great stats? But he keeps them in. Oh, okay. Thanks for pointing it out to me. I was trying to compliment your ability there.
Thank you.
But you're exactly right. You really want to value taking great shots at this point, but you don't reach and do things weird because plenty of time left. 6 points is 2 or 3 possessions. It's kind of settle in and double down on what you do.
All right, so we're coming in here to late third quarter, 43-37. The Blue Jays coming off a monumental victory last Tuesday night against Saunders County rival Wahoo, but they are in a battle again with Roncalli as Orr gets in the paint one-on-one, working against Kale. He gets the floater to go, 45-37.
His spin move is elite. He's shown that a lot today, really relies on it.
Kale dumps it off to Dane Jacobson, his brother. Tries a bounce pass. Kissinger handles it, and he's going to be bumped and fouled again. That'll just be the 5th team foul on Roncalli. And Lucas Brown is set to check in here for the Crimson Pride. Who's going to come out? They're going to bring Orr out with 40.3 seconds. Smart job by Coach Stoffel. He'll give him a little break, and Evans also checks in. So you hear that. You got the insight right there from their coaches. They want him to slip the screen here on the inbounds pass. And Kissinger tracks down the pass. He'll attack. He's in the paint. Little off balance. Evans got the board. We've got 28 seconds to go. Roncalli's defense has taken hold of this basketball game. As Evans works, they're going to try to chase and double. Oh, and here comes a steal by Shepard. Shepard running. Left-handed layup, good, and it's now a 6-point game. 2 seconds, 1, here's McGill at the buzzer. It's going to be a hair short. Blue Jays with a big steal and score late in that third quarter to get it to 6. But the Blue Jays are getting everything they want. They knew this was going to be a tough game. And Jordan, they are facing some big-time adversity here. Tell me a little bit how they're going to work through this.
Just kind of like we said earlier, it's a 6-point game. You can't deviate too far away and change things quite yet, but it all starts with getting score, stop, score is what Coach Mo says. Right now, they're not finding a ton of success slowing down or complement that with some good plays by Schwartz and Evans. And right now, the Blue Jays are kind of struggling a little bit on that defensive end, which has been such a huge asset for them all year.
Andrew, your thoughts?
Well, we talked about single-digit quarters. They were able to get one of those against Roncalli in that first quarter. Since then, it's been a clinic offensively. Roncalli has been pretty dominant. They were able to get 19 points in the second quarter and then another 18 there in the third. Blue Jays just haven't really been able to slow them down ever since that first. I don't know what adjustments were made by the Roncalli head coach, but they were good ones.
Well, in that quarter, 17 points scored by Roncalli, 15 by the Big Blue. And it's 45-39. We enter fourth quarter with Jacobson, Cougar Konzum, Evan Shepard, Max Parker, and Brooks Kissinger. Bringing it up is Heller. He'll have Orr, Brown, and here comes a steal by Cougar. 2 steals in a row, and then a foul is committed, and that's the 16th foul. Oh, what do we have here?
I'm going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. They didn't call a foul on Orr. And I'm surprised the coaches aren't a little more vocal on that. So it will remain Roncalli ball. Here's Orr. Man-to-man defense. Let's see if the Blue Jays will try to trap again. Orr is so dangerous. Here's Schwartz left open for a 3. It's no good. Tipped around. Max with a great board. Blue Jays down 6, trying to cut it to 4, maybe 3. Kissinger working against Evans. Gets in the paint. Turnaround jumper. And Evans gets ball and a block. And here comes Heller. Both of these teams allowed to play a little basketball tonight. As Evans got a block that time on Kissinger, but here comes Orr. He'll work right baseline against Konzum. Looking, dumps it top of the screen. Here comes Evan Shepard with a steal. He'll go the length of the court. He's fouled, and he'll go to shoot 2.
Something that a lot of people probably didn't pick up on there. I only started noticing it here because Wallman was my coach during my freshman year. The angle of Evan Shepard's hand as he hit that would have gone out of bounds if he had just swatted at it, but he tipped it forward to himself. An excellent athletic play from him there.
You know, if you watched Evan Shepard, I got a glimpse of him before that pass was made. He was like a cheetah. He was like a leopard. He was just hiding in the bushes. He was baiting that pass. And when it came in midair, you could see him spring. And he knocks it into the backcourt and makes it a 5-point game. Too hard, and the rebound down to Evans.
Tim, the analogies tonight are excellent.
Oh, man. He could smell it. And here we have a whistle and a reach and a foul. I think on Evan Shepard, yeah. And that will be the 6th team foul in the Big Blue. Both teams will be in a bonus as each team has 6 fouls. Inbounds coming backcourt to Evans. Here we go, 45-40. Ramping up here in the birdcage tonight in Ashland, Nebraska. Here's Heller for a 3. No good. Max fighting, and he'll pull down the board. Kale is running. Finds Konzum. Step through, shot, the block, and they're going to call it on Brown. But they say the foul occurred before he put the shot up.
That was a good call there.
Nice, Andrew. You fit right in as the officials apologist. Tim, with the first pick in the officials apologist draft, I take Andrew Berman.
Here's the free throw. Oh, Cougar a little short on that. Normally that roll falls expertly to Jordan Wallman. But not tonight. And the crowd chanting defense here. 6:19 to go, fourth quarter. Blue Jays down 45-40. Schwartz trying to make something happen. We'll hand it off to Orr. Blue Jays going to attack Orr, double him, but he dribbles right through it. Oh my goodness! That is a da-da-dun, da-da-dun.
Could not agree with you more. Great play by Orr. They needed it right now, too.
Wow, what a play. Here comes Cale Jacobson. He says right back at you, and it's 47-42.
Great fundamental basketball by Cale. You know, it's sometimes we overcomplicate things. That was a very simple move by him. You know, I think as we close in on these last 5:52 in the fourth quarter, Roncalli's being very conservative. They're willing to kind of maybe, I don't want to say take the air out of the ball, but take their time and find a great shot. Blue Jays try to speed him up, and it results in a downhill layup for Orr.
Well, I'll tell you, this has been what we thought it would be, right? We thought it would be this kind of a game, and it sure has been. But I think the thing that has us all surprised, Andrew, and I'll throw it to you, is after the Blue Jays hold Roncalli to 9 in the first quarter, look out, Roncalli has scored 19 and 17 to answer that.
They've definitely picked up the pace a little bit, and they're able to get inside a lot more. They're finishing once they get to the basket. Add into that those few threes that they've been able to get. It's a recipe for success.
All right, folks, buckle in. These last 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go. And here's a backdoor cut from Schwartz, and he got it! But what a pass from Orr!
That's a set coming from Stoffel out of the timeout. Fake the drive, back cut. Good finish by Schwartz with Cale going up to contest them.
Here comes Kissinger. He's in the paint. Goes out to Shepard. Blue Jays need to answer, down 7. Another great entry pass here by Cale. Turnaround jumper by Max, and it falls off balance. He got it to roll.
It's a good play, and you know, I wouldn't have been heartbroken if they called a foul there.
Yeah, I saw it.
You know, that'd be a great time to call the body, but good job by Max finishing. It's a huge play.
Good job by Orr to do all of that pushing underneath, not keep it up high. Here we go, one-on-one. Orr is just on fire, but Cale, he may answer. No, Brown gets it. They get it into Orr. He tries a little bounce pass, tracking it down to Schwartz. Stolen! It's Konzum, and a whistle and a foul. And this Blue Jay effort, they are starting to respond in this game.
And here we go. We're down to the 1-1. You know, teams that make free throws late are the ones that usually find success. Taking that, a lot of coaches have said it, but the most recent one is Hubert. You know, so that's why he values free throws so much. You know, win 50-50 balls and hang on to those things.
Go ahead, buddy. Can't hear me? Oh, no, you know what?
I don't have the names. That's the fourth foul on whoever that was.
Okay, got it. We'll track that down. And we're working on a few things up here in the booth. Here's a free throw by Konzum. Cougar gets it to fall and cuts it to 4. Cougar tonight, 3 of 6 on the line.
Andrew, I put a program right next to you.
Thank
I'll
you.
stop hogging that thing.
I appreciate it.
Second free throw upcoming for Konzum to cut this to a 1-possession game, and it's short. He's 3 of 7 tonight from the line. Rebound down to Orr. Here comes Heller across the timeline, dumps it off. Blue Jays have been trapping, they've been running. And Orr has been absolutely phenomenal, so has Schwartz. But the Blue Jays giving chase. They dump it off to Schwartz. Oh, beautiful wraparound pass. But they can't get it to fall. And here comes Shepard. He's got a 3-on-3. Evans just going to go hard. Off the glass, won't go. Tipped around. Evan gets the offensive board. Blue Jays down 4. Lob pass. Konzum tripled. He's in trouble. Can he get it out? Oh, we got a whistle, and a travel is called on Konzum. Coach Mose is arguing with Troy Steele. What's the call there, Jordan? What is Coach Mose saying?
I mean, I think he just doesn't like the amount of contact on Cougar. You know, and then once you hit the ground, you know, they probably got him for the knee slides, but I don't know. I need to look over the travel rules in the handbook.
Here comes Roncalli. McGill's going to attack the rim, left-handed layup, beautifully done.
That's big. Ashland needs to value their possessions for the rest of the game.
6-point game, 3:48 to go. Cale kicks it out corner. Kissinger to Max. Max is dangerous shooting that 3 ball. Here's Cougar Konzum. He's going to dribble into the paint, kick it out. Cougar crossover, going hard, layup. It's a 4-point game.
That's a great example of valuing possessions. Max had a chance to shoot a 3. It was a good shot, not a great shot. They take their time and find a great shot, down 4 with about 3:20 left.
You can just see the effort on both sides They are both fighting, clawing for every play. Schwartz against man-to-man. Shepard, so dangerous. Gives him chase. Evans with a bounce pass. Down to Heller. He's in there with the land of the bigs, but he'll dribble out. We're under 3 minutes to go. Oh, my. This is one of these nail biters. And here's a kick by Kissinger.
Something to look for as we get towards the end of this one. Free throws are always big in close games. The Blue Jays are uncharacteristically not doing that great tonight. They're only 8 from 14 from the line. They've left 6 points out there, and they're down by 4.
Gosh.
Well, this is something else.
It's good. I mean, it's not good. It's good input. You always give those things.
It's definitely not good for the Blue Jays.
No.
Here comes the inbounds pass. They get it to Schwartz. He's just going to race to the rim, and he'll win the foot race and the layup.
Fortunately, sometimes the scramble leaves open opportunities. There's an easy points, and Schwartz converts.
Here comes Kale, back the other way. He's fouled on his right to the rim. And so this will be a 1-and-1, I believe, or are they giving him 2 shots, Jordan? I didn't see it.
They're going to say it's on the ground. Staffel's got to be careful because when you argue every single call, you know, I don't have too much on that, but he's just not happy right now with the refs.
By the way, that is a big foul. That is the 4th on Austin Schwartz, and Cale Jacobson knocks home that free throw. Cale shooting 78% coming into the game from the line. He's cut it to 5.
Free throws are big here.
He's 2 of 2 from the line tonight. 3 of 3. 4-point game. 2.5 to go. Full court pressure this time by the Big Blue. And Roncalli beats it easily. Schwartz is going to attack. Make that Evans. He misses the layup. He's a little slow to get back. The Blue Jays have some numbers. 5-4. Kale's going to attack. Step through. He throws it off the glass. Can't get it to fall, and Evan Shepard's going to commit the foul.
It was there. If he'd have made it, that would have been pretty sweet. Unfortunately, just got a little bit off balance. That's the shot we want. We want Cale driving and creating those opportunities for himself.
53-49, 2:16 to go in regulation. Neither team wanting to give an inch in this one. This is going to take a while here. Can they get across half court? They do. Or find Schwartz. And then Orr was knocked to the ground, no call. No, Evan Shepard almost got that pass. Great pass inside to McGill. He's fouled by Parker, and the bucket.
That's a huge play for Roncalli momentum-wise. The athletes they have allow them to really make life tough on a team scrambling, which is the exact same thing we did to Wahoo last game. But the Blue Jays have to take advantage of those scramble opportunities.
McGill hits the free throw. We are now at a 7-point game. And I don't want to make too big of any possession, but this is a big one here. Dane Jacobson has checked in the game. Here's a lob pass to Max. On the left side, he'll roll it over the rim. We're back to 5, and a quick timeout for Coach Mose.
Tim, you said it best. That was a huge possession. The Blue Jays capitalized, not only scoring, but scoring quick, and that's what it's going to be. Don't let Roncalli hold that ball. You have to have purposeful and intentional scrambles, create opportunities, and contest shots when they go.
Well, Andrew, we've been treated last Tuesday night to an absolute thriller against Wahoo. Another one tonight, 56-51. We're getting a little spoiled, aren't we?
A little bit. It's definitely great to be back. I miss doing this a lot once I got done with my senior year here. But coming back and having these 2 games that I got to work with, it's definitely been great.
Well, folks, this is a good one. If you can't appreciate this game, you just can't appreciate high school basketball. The effort has been absolutely phenomenal. You've got some great players on this court. Orr and Schwartz have just been amazing. Cale Jacobson, Brooks Kissinger, Evan Shepard, Max Parker. Where do I stop for the Blue Jays?
Go to 7 deep. That's about how far you got to go to find someone who didn't play well for the Blue Jays tonight.
Here we go. They're bringing it up slowly. Heller gets across the timeline. There's the trap they wanted, and the steal. Here comes Cale. Cale's going to attack. All the way off the glass, won't get the ball. Tip try won't go. Tipped it out to Max. Max going to go back to Cale. Cale looks. He'll step back and try a 3. in and out. And the rebound down to Orr. Orr's going to dump it off to Schwartz. And Kale with a great strip. And it went off the leg of Schwartz. Woo. They said that it went off the leg of Schwartz. And we'll take that one. I don't know, Jordan.
Yeah, I don't have the angle to make a comment on it. You know, let's make a list of people who had the best view of it. At the top of that is the ref.
That's right.
So I'm gonna listen to him, and I'm probably number 225 on the person who had the best look at that. So just gonna accept it.
Blue Jays down 5. Kale's going to attack off the glass. He makes it a 3-point game, 1 possession. It's 56-53. Kale with 6 points in the fourth quarter alone, 8 in the second half. And you're right, we got a great crew here tonight. Troy Steele, C.J. Cooper, and Jim Porter, all very experienced, all very good at what they do. And I think on the strip, they must have said it went off the thigh of Schwartz.
Yeah, I don't know. And just watching some people down there who had good angles, they look like they're questioning it as well. But, you know, once again, he has no reason to make that call, make the opposite to what common judgment would think unless he saw something. And so obviously it went in our favor, but so I'm biased to wanting that call, but it is what it is.
All right, Andrew, 56-53. Blue Jays down. We've got it down to a 1-possession game. What are we going to see when we come out of this timeout? A little full court pressure.
High-intensity basketball. This game has been very unpredictable. It's just a lot of athleticism and speed all over the court. I have no idea what's coming next.
Man, Andrew, if only you had a good coach in your past in your freshman year that would teach you what these situations need.
Well, I love his honesty. And he's right. We don't know what we're going to see.
I'd assume we're going to see a lot of press. I just don't know what's going to come from it is what I'm saying.
That's where I was trying to take you. But you know what? I like your answer better because we're only going to find out here in a minute 3 left. And here's the inbounds to Schwartz. Schwartz being chased. Man, are there some athletes out there tonight. They get it across to Heller. Heller's fouled. And this will be a 1-and-1 for Heller, with 55.3 on the clock.
You know, Andrew, I think a great answer would have been waiting until the right guy gets the ball to foul. But I don't know. I wouldn't have said that in the moment either.
Making some noise in the bleachers, and Heller faces it down and hits the free throw.
That's a big one there, because if he missed that, then it's 1-and-1. It's Blue Jay ball, and it would have been a 1-possession game.
4-point lead now by the Crimson Pride. Heller looks, fires, rolls around. Kale is fouled from behind by Evans, and this should be a double bonus.
Yeah, and that's a huge play because not only does it put a good free throw shooter on the line, but also no time went off the clock. And that's the enemy for the Blue Jays right now is what's the correlation between time coming off the clock and versus what are we getting on the offensive end.
4-point lead. Jacobson, a 78% free throw shooter. He is 3 of 3 tonight, so he's shooting above 80. He'll get 2. First one is up, rolls around and falls. Ice Jacobson here to make it a 3-point game. He is just ice in his veins. Second one for the senior, the left-hander, knocks it to 2. And nearly a steal in the backcourt. It's loose ball everywhere. Who's going to come up with it? It's still loose. Dane Jacobson misses the bunny, and Schwartz gets it, and we got a whistle. And what do we have here? Foul? Or we got a timeout.
No
I think
idea.
Schwartz called timeout. And he got poked in the eye. It was wild down there. Dane Jacobson came out with the loose ball, missed a little bunny to tie it, and then it was tapped around, and quickly Schwartz calls a timeout.
I'm here trying to keep track of turnovers, and I don't even know what to write down for that possession right there.
Just put a question mark.
It looked like the Blue Jays had it for a second and got all swatted around. But
you know, you get a sense in this game when you see these two teams going, this is not necessarily the prettiest game, but you get a sense that both teams are absolutely fiercely committed to winning this game. And that's what you're seeing out there, that kind of effort.
Yeah, and this is a big game for the Blue Jays either way. Obviously, to us, success looks like a win, but they were down 6 in the third quarter. The lead extended, then they pushed back, and it is such a skill to win games. I say it all the time, but you have to know how to act in these games.
So substitution here for the Blue Jays. They're going to put in defensive specialist Drake Zimmerman. You got Dane Jacobson, Brooks Kissinger, Evan Shepard, and Cale Jacobson. Or Heller, Schwartz, Evans, and McGill. For Roncalli, we've got 45.9 on the clock. A 2-point lead for Roncalli. They've got the ball. They've got to go the length of the court. Orr taking his time. Finally gets it into McGill. Back to Orr. Long outlet pass to Schwartz, who finds Evans. Right-handed left, good. 4-point game.
Got to capitalize quick here. 36 seconds. Find 2 points quick.
Here come the Blue Jays. 3 ball from Cale. Misses off the right side of the rim. Evans is fouled from behind by Kissinger. And this will be the 9th team foul on the Big Blue, so this will be a 1-and-1 opportunity. Wow. I'll tell you right now, I am out of breath. This game has been phenomenal to watch. Number 3 in Class B, Omaha Roncalli. Number 1 in Class C1, Ashland, Nebraska, or Ashland-Greenwood. And, you know, this has lived up to its billing. Everyone that's sitting in here have been watching on Strive tonight. They have spent some very good time watching this game. So here's the free throw by Evans, and the rebound down to Jacobson. 4-point game, 25 seconds to go. Cale's going to attack, kick it out. Dane Jacobson gets in the paint. He'll go all the way, layup, and he knocks that home to make it a 2-point game. They get it into Orr. We got a whistle and a foul, and that'll be a double bonus with 16.9 to go. Orr will go to the line to shoot 2.
Really, really good foul. You know, if you can impede a guy's motion while they go to that ball while it's out of bounds, take it. Because, you know, obviously you don't want a good free throw shooter or on the line, but right now literally every second is valuable.
Now that was a necessary foul, but it is a little unfortunate. Yeah, it's going to be double bonus there. I was confused for a second. It is unfortunate because let's say this game goes to overtime. That's the 4th on Evan Shepard.
Well, that's a big miss because it will be a 1-possession game whether he makes it or not. He does. Blue Jays have a chance to tie with a 3. Here comes Cale bringing it up the court. He's going to go hard. He's going to attack all the way. They'll give up the 2 to make it a 60-59 game with 12.1 to go. And the Blue Jay defense will get a chance here on the inbounds.
Great job by Cale. You know, on the last possession, he shot a 3. Obviously, he's very confident in his shot, and we want him to have the ball in his hands. But, you know, conventional wisdom says when those opportunities are up, get the quick 2 versus the quick 3.
That's a mistake that a lot of high schoolers make when they get the ball. They're down 3. There's not much time left at all. They feel like they have to shoot a 3 when really they could get the 2, foul, and hope for at least 1 miss so that they cut the lead down a little more.
All right, let's talk about this. The Blue Jays obviously will deny, but if they make a successful inbounds pass, I imagine they're going to ask for an immediate foul, correct?
You got a foul here.
Got a
12.1.
Yeah, got a foul. You know, I don't know. Mose has no timeouts left. You know, at this point, any made shot for Ashland, you know, there's under 5 seconds. You just let that ball go. And so we're getting dangerously close to that range. He makes 2 and you don't get a 3. Mose is also probably drawing up a play for when they foul, make both free throws. What does a 3-point play look like?
If Roncalli is able to get across half court here, it's really not good for the Blue Jays.
Now they're going to need to foul the moment they catch the ball, I would think, with 12.1. Let's see. Orr looking, gets in the corner to Evans. They find Orr. He's fouled immediately. Actually, Evans is kind of knocked into the stage by Brooks Kissinger. Let's see. It's going to be 2-shot, but let's just hope it's not intentional here because they'd get possession. And it's not. So it's just a 2-shot. Foul coming up here in the double bonus for Evans.
That's another Blue Jay with 4 fouls if this one goes to overtime. So this could be a very interesting game if it ends up going past regulation.
This time, Roncalli is going to put Orr and Schwartz in there with 10.8 seconds to go. 2 shots coming up for Evans. He's 2 of 2 from the line tonight, and he's 3 of 3. 2-point game. Max Parker comes in. Zimmerman out. So a long rebound. Blue Jays got to be careful here. You got 3-point shooters in Jacobson. Well, really all of these guys can shoot the three. Here's Evans' second ball. It's good. It's a 3-point game, and Coach Stoffel wants a timeout. The chess match continues between these coaches. And now with 10.8 to go in regulation, the Blue Jays will have the basketball, and they're going to be putting up a three this time.
Yeah, and in the reality of things, if you're waiting for the last shot intentionally, 10.8 is a lot of time. If you're looking to make a game-tying shot, 10.8 is not a lot of time because you need to anticipate for a rebound and another opportunity. So I'm interested to see what Mose draws up here. But the Blue Jays want to shoot with that opportunity to swat a rebound out and shoot again.
Well, let me give you some numbers. If the same five come out for the Blue Jays, Dane Jacobson is 56% from three this year. He's 5 of 9. Evan Shepard is 8 of 13 for 62%. Max Parker is 11 of 18 from 61%. These are 3-point percentages, folks. Hard to imagine. And Brooks Kissinger is 3 of 10 for 30%. Cale Jacobson has just hit 1-3 this year. So you got a lot of guys, but he can really shoot it. So you got a lot of guys that you can put it up. You don't have to draw it up for one. That's what's good about this Ashland-Greenwood offense. You got 5 guys that can shoot the three out there. And let's see who they come up with, as Roncalli will go full court.
Roncalli might foul here.
That's right. Only let him try to get 2. Here's Jacobson. He's coming up the court and gets it over to Brooks. Brooks pulled up. 3-point. Great look. And he puts it back in as Cale Jacobson. There's Dane. He's got to find Brooks at the buzzer. Bingo! Bingo! My goodness! Unbelievable! What a play! And that is why you don't quit. Dane Jacobson found that rebound, kicked it out. This is why you don't quit, Suzanne Sapp.
I really hope I got that on camera because I was out of my seat. Man, let's go.
Wow! Mamma mia!
The situational awareness there to come down with the basketball and know you need 3 points. You don't have time, but you still need 3 points, so you can't go up with it. You have to pass that out, and an incredibly clutch shot there to take this one into OT.
Well, and the other thing is that when Brooks shot his first shot, it was a 2. So that transition 3 that he took, like Mark said it to my right, and then I saw the ref's hand down. It's like crap. Yeah, so, and then look at Matt Flynn's over there cleaning up. Somebody spilled their drink.
We would have lost if they made that first shot there.
Hey, well, Cale Jacobson's never been so happy in his life that he missed a shot. He missed the bunny with about 2 seconds to go. That allowed the Blue Jays to hit that three-pointer, and this place is absolute bedlam in Ashland, Nebraska. 62-0. And we head to overtime. And the Blue Jays, 4 minutes on the clock. They get the overtime tip.
There are multiple players on the Blue Jays team with 4 fouls.
Kissinger, he picks up where he left off and hits the bucket.
Let's go. This is great. Good basketball. Well worth the price of admission.
Here we go. Back the other way. And a reach in and a foul.
I think it's a good call. Cale's not happy about it, but as Orr extends to keep the ball above a defender's hand, he gets hit on the arm. Cale's 3rd foul.
Well, I am texting Kip Kissinger right now. I don't think he's going to get it until after the game. He's officiating a game, but I just told him he won't believe it when he hears about it. Here's the second free throw. It's up. It's good. It's 64-all. And back the other way they come. Cale Jacobson with it with Max Parker. Back up top they go to Cale. 64-64. You know this is going to be exceptionally hotly contested all the way through this overtime. These two teams have fought. Here's a great entry pass to Parker. Give Ponzum the assist.
That's the 3rd time today the Blue Jays have scored from that seal, that post seal and pass overhead. Love that.
And this crowd is in full throat tonight as Heller working against Cale Jacobson. Little spin move out top. Roncalli being patient. They have been all night. Exceptionally well coached, both of these teams. Or step back three. And he drains it to give them the lead.
That's huge. Big shot from Orr. Blue Jays sinking off of him to stop the drive, and he just steps into it and has confidence.
They are not deterred as Roncalli giving up that three at the end. They are fighting and fired up. Here comes Cale again. Oh, great dish. Gonza fouled.
Let's go. Let's go. Man, that just good basketball. Orr makes a great play down there. Cale comes back, shows a little hezzy, attracts the help side defender, dumps to Cougar, and man, Cougar finishes with the harm.
5 fouls, by the way, on Lucas Brown. Good job, Andrew Berman. He's our producer in the booth tonight, keeping Jordan and I making sure we catch all of these things. And there is a three-point conversion as Cougar Conzum hits the bucket, the free throw.
Nice
2-point Blue Jay lead
right there. That was big.
And what a dish.
1-3-1.
Back to the 1-3-1. Had some success in regulation when they used it. And Tyler Craven is up on his feet, jumping. He wants something. Boy, they got a weak side wide open. Evans stepped in. Moses saying, watch weak side with Evans. I think they had 2 opportunities out. Evans with it now. We're under 2 minutes to go. 2-point Blue Jay lead. Heller, ball fake. Orr's been a little quiet here late, although he just hit that three. What do I mean he's been quiet? And now he kicks it out. Heller for an open three to give him the lead. He banks it in.
Gosh.
He banks it in.
And oh my gosh, because as the ball's in the air, it doesn't look like it's going down, and then it just finds its way in. Good shot. Great execution by Roncalli. I did not mean it like that at all.
This is a instant classic, folks. We'll try to get this game up on archive as quick as we can because you're going to want to watch it. Here comes Kissinger in the paint. Look, stripped and stolen. Schwartz going to dump it off to Orr. Just when you thought the Blue Jays had the momentum, Roncalli steals it back. Heller.
Got to scramble. Blue Jays got to make the transition from a 1-3-1, a normal man, to a scramble man.
70-69. Roncalli with the ball.
Got to pressure, Blue Jays.
They come out and get him. Jordan Wallman asks. Now, McGill nearly traveled, also nearly got doubled, but they did a good job of getting into the open man. 46 seconds to go in this one. And Schwartz dribbles through a double team in the paint over Parker. He misses. Blue Jays get the ball.
That was a nice tip there by Max Parker, able to slightly alter the flight of the ball there to make sure it didn't go in.
Big play by Max. He's got nearly 2 blocks a game is what he's averaging. Here comes Cale, gonna go in against Heller. We got a whistle and a foul, and Jacobson's gonna go to the line. Coach Stoffel, he says, I want jump ball, but instead, Troy Steele calls a reach and a foul.
Well, ridiculous.
It's a crazy atmosphere tonight.
Just the level of, I don't know, I'm not a fan.
Here comes the free throw. It's up, it's good. It is hotly contested, to say the least. The emotions are running hot. They should in a game like this. This is a wild one. It's 70-all. Yeah, Cale misses the second one. He hadn't missed all night. His legs have got to be a little bit wobbly, though, as we get late in this game. Deadlocked at 70. Orr with the basketball.
I think they're holding for one here.
Chasing is Cale. He gets by it. He's in the paint. Floater. He knocks it home with 9 seconds to go. Blue Jays can't get a hold of the ball. They finally do. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Cale stop to win it. A three. Oh, too hard. Evan finds Cale at the buzzer. It won't go. And Roncalli wins an absolute thriller in Ashland, Nebraska tonight. Absolute wonderful basketball game to watch here in Ashland, Nebraska.
Yeah, it was a blast. And obviously the outcome we would have loved to have seen it be different, but an old saying, you learn more from a loss than a win. And I know that's cliche, but there's no doubt the Blue Jays showed that they know how to win and compete and be in tight games.
Well, folks, you can only imagine how these players feel. You hate these games because Ashland-Greenwood, who steps off the court, you're sick to your stomach for them. You saw how hard they fought and how they stayed in this game when they could have easily walked away from it. And, of course, Roncalli, jubilation, and they deserve it. But, Jordan, when I look over at you and I see you try to put your pen back in its cap and your hands are shaking and you couldn't do it, that just shows you the kind of game we got a chance to witness tonight. This was beyond special. What a basketball game.
It was fun. And, it's not all about wins and losses. Obviously an undefeated record is cool, but this was a tough 3-game stretch. We played 3 really, really good teams between Milford, Wahoo, and Roncalli. I'm more proud because the Blue Jays have not had a close game yet. I'm super proud of the way that we, we're down 7, we're down 6, cut it closer. Now we're down 6 again, and they found ways to win. So I'm a themes guy. I like themes. I notice big themes, small themes, and that's a theme to success. A December loss against Roncalli doesn't destroy your chance to be competitive for the rest of the season. So obviously would have loved to win, but it's a great game. It was fun to watch.
Andrew, 72-70, you are a numbers guy. You got numbers written all over your whiteboard here. When you break down the numbers, how did Roncalli get this win tonight?
Well, I think that the big thing was they hit free throws, and we kind of struggled. We weren't awful, but we definitely weren't good. We shot 65% from the line, left 7 out there, and ended up losing by 2. Free throws are always big in a close game like this, and the Blue Jays just didn't execute quite as well as Roncalli.
Well, Jordan said it, and you can't forget this. What a stretch the Blue Jays have played. 3 games, top 5 teams, Milford, Wahoo, and it was an emotional game last Tuesday night. And then you get this one tonight against Omaha Roncalli. And Jordan, you've coached, you've also played. When you go through a grinder like that, man, is it tough to just get up for every single game and play at that highest level. Yet the Blue Jays were phenomenal through this grind. And, of course, Roncalli, they were absolutely terrific as well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Mose and I used to say sometimes we face man in practice, we face man against other teams, and then we get a little surprised when we see a zone. Blue Jays have seen so much zone this year. So much of our broadcasts have been about zones. It looks like it just took us a little bit to get going against a good pressure man defense. We've said multiple times on this broadcast we're going to be hard to defend. Roncalli did a good job defending us. And sometimes it's good to take a step back and reflect on what you've been doing and what you've been preparing for, and I think Mose will definitely do that.
Well, I'll tell you, a guy walking in front of us right now, Nate Tonjes, he knows all about these tough physical games. And that's the other thing, Andrew. This was a physical basketball game tonight. These two teams challenged each other. They pushed each other. They were physical with one another. It wasn't just a mental grind out there on that court tonight, in which it was, but it was a physical grind as well. Talk about that. You played the game of basketball, what that put your body through.
I mean, it's definitely tough, especially when it goes into overtime, because it's very exhausting to have to go up and muscle your way through for every single shot. And you saw there were a bunch of people in foul trouble just because it was such a physical game, like you said there. There were a lot of shots from down low. Both teams over 30 shots from in the paint. It was a very, very tough game for both sides, and they were both kind of drained there as they were walking off the court. Obviously, Roncalli's excited being able to come away with the win, but that's got to be exhausting.
So, Jordan, let's go through this last play again in regulation for the Blue Jays to get to overtime. They come down. Kissinger takes a three, misses it. Cale gets an offensive board, and thank goodness missed a little two-footer, which really wouldn't have meant anything. And the ball gets tipped out, and Dane Jacobson finds Brooks Kissinger with 0.8 seconds on the clock. He drains that three, and I think that's indicative of just how hard both of these teams fought through this basketball game.
And I think, all of us, the players included, I can't wait to go back and watch it. When Cale looked as though he was rushing his shot, for the sake of time, people thought he was rushing it to beat the clock. Well, what Cale's doing is saying, if I can make this with 4 seconds, 5 seconds left, that gives us a chance for another possession. So everyone just kind of stopped and settled in. It felt like it was over, and then Dane just kept playing. So I love that.
And then let's counter this, Andrew. In overtime, the Blue Jays get up. They're leading. They look like they have absolutely stolen the momentum. And Roncalli, after trailing by, I believe, 3 in the overtime period, ends up getting buckets on back-to-back possessions. They take the lead, and they never look back. So it was indicative of the way they played tonight. They weren't fazed. by that big shot by Kissinger at the end of regulation.
Yeah, I think what happened there in overtime, I didn't keep track of every single shot, but I can't remember a possession that didn't end in a basket during that overtime period. And it just so happened that Roncalli was able to get the last one, and we missed our final shot. And it was a very offensive overtime period there, and both teams definitely played great.
Well, let's make sure that we, just express our thanks to these players. I mean, watching Austin Schwartz. Now, this is a guy, to me, Jordan, Austin Schwartz tonight, each team kind of has that silent MVP every game, right?
Yeah.
But Austin Schwartz tonight, I thought he was that kind of silent MVP. His defense was exceptional against the Blue Jays, and yet he didn't put up 40 tonight or anything like that. But, man, he was tough defensively. Talk a little bit about his play, and, of course, Jake Orrs.
You know, he's a guy that averages over 10 points a game along with his teammates, but he also tonight said, I have a different role. And you can appreciate that as a fan of basketball. He's quick. He's strong. Andre Iguodala once won an NBA Finals MVP for slowing down LeBron, and LeBron still averaged like 35 a game. So that's the value, and Schwartz did that tonight. I'm not sure how much Caleb finished with. He played a great game, but Schwartz did a good job slowing him down, and so that's a great role. I'm happy for Schwartz that he's able to realize those things and be a team player, and obviously worked out well for him because they got to win.
And the flip side of it, too, there, Jordan and Andrew, and I'll give this one to you. Cougar Konzum gets my Purple Heart Award. I mean, here's a kid that just really didn't, have the night shooting he wanted. His shooting percentage has dropped a little bit from a year ago when he was absolutely sensational shooting. But what did he do in overtime in the fourth quarter? He puts up 6 points. He fought. He clawed. He had important rebounds. And, again, he exemplified to me kind of that silent MVP, if you will, for the Blue Jays.
He had a few big steals in there, too, that led to those transition baskets that were so vital in order to push the game to overtime in the first place because the Blue Jays were down.
Well, without a doubt, it brings a good time for Mark Adele. Mark, give us those stats here.
Well, a couple observations before we go. Jake Orr, if Cale Jacobson can't stop him, there aren't many guys that can. He wouldn't be beat. He's not primarily a three-point shooter for all his skills, yet he cold-bloodedly knocked down that one in the overtime that really gave him a lift. He just had a phenomenal game.
Amazing player.
Another thing, we just didn't quite knock down quite enough threes. We were 4 of 15 from three, Brooks's notwithstanding. And so that, as much as anything. But shooting overall, we were 26 of 52, 50%. They, in the second half, were 16 of 24. For the game, 27 of 49 for 55%. They were 7 of 13 from three for 54%. They were 12 of 16 from the line, 75%. We were 13 of 20, 65%. Rebounding, we got a slight edge there, 30 to 26. We got set. We really battled hard on the boards. Cale Jacobson, a double-double. He had 12 boards in addition to his points. Max Parker had 8 boards. They had 3 offensive. We had 7 offensive of our 30. Turnovers, we did a much better job the second half, only turned it over 4 times. 14 for the game. They turned it over 7 in the second half for 13. And had we knocked down another 3, it's a different game. It wasn't so much, though, that we played poorly, as Roncalli probably played their best game of the season, I think, good as they are. You can't tell me they shoot 7 of 13 from game or every game or from 3 or 16 of 24 for the second half.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for those numbers, and we're going to bring in Coach Tyler Craven. And Coach, that was one of the greatest games I've seen in a long, long time. I mean, you had 2 teams out there competing, and I know it didn't end up our way, but your thoughts just on watching both teams out there compete and your team not giving up there at the end and pushing it into overtime?
That was fun. That was really fun. Two teams that like to compete with some hard-nosed dudes. That was a great basketball game.
So talk a little bit about, you just heard Mark there, when you hear that they shot 54% from three, I know how your mind works. What's one of the things that goes through your mind? Is it that they just shot it so incredibly well, were we a little slow to close out?
No, I don't like that mentality at all. Number one, they beat us. Number one, they outplayed us the whole game. They definitely deserved to win more than we did. And they hit shots, and they're big-time players hit big-time shots. And so credit to them. They are a very good team. I would not want to see them in March. Yeah.
Well, you went on a 3-game stretch here before I give this off to Andrew and Jordan, but 3-game stretch of Milford, Wahoo, and then, of course, a very, very tough Omaha Roncalli team today. It's a tough stretch, and you guys come out of there 2-1 with an overtime loss. So I know you feel like you should be 3-0, but to talk a little bit about just that gauntlet you had to run through those 3 games.
Yeah, three really, really solid teams. I thought our kids responded a little bit better. I would say poorly today than the other 2 because we had more adversity. So that gives us some stuff to work on and stuff we're going to hit on.
Andrew.
Well, in a tough game like that, there wasn't really too much that could even be improved on by the Blue Jays. It wasn't a bad game for them by any means. It's really tough to go down where there's not really much else that you could have done. So what's the focus as you move into the next practice? It's kind of tough for everyone coming out of a loss like that.
Yeah, as a coach, I think differently than that. 3 guys got their average or above. Actually, 6 guys got their average or above. And Orr goes off for 23, and then that guy's a dude, and he wanted the ball in his hands. He's coming out saying he wants the matchup of guarding Kale. So just hats off to him. He went out and won them that game. So what does that look like in practice? It looks like we got to freaking guard best players a lot better than we did.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming up. This was a tough loss, emotional loss. But listen, again, thank you so much for coming up, spending some time.
Credit to our guys. They responded well in the second half, and they kept fighting. So we could have easily gave in first time being down and punched in the mouth for 3 quarters instead of just 2. So that credit to them.
Well, absolutely, and I appreciate you saying that. That's the one thing you got a headset there. Thank you, Coach Craven. We get Coach Mose in there. Coach, I don't know even what I said when Kissinger hit that 3, but the one thing I said when I settled down was this is why you don't give up. You guys ended up getting, 2 offensive boards on that, and Dane alertly, with 0.8 seconds on the clock, kicks it out, finds Kissinger. You drain that 3. If nothing else, you got to come away from this saying, hey, they were fighting to the bitter end to try to get this game in overtime.
Yeah, definitely, and I thought maybe once we got into overtime, we could maybe use that momentum and energy to maybe sneak one out of here and steal it, because they outplayed us for a large majority of the game. And we just kind of made some plays there at the end to stick around. And, I thought in overtime we were basically one stop away from winning, because we score and then we give up a score and then we score again. We just couldn't get a stop, and kind of that maybe summarizes the night.
You shared with me kind of the 3 keys coming in. Orr had 23, 9 above his average. Their cuts to the basket tonight, they were pretty effective at. But yet, let's face it, this is a very good team. So tell me a little bit, when you look at those 3 those keys coming in, is it that you're terribly disappointed, or is it that Roncalli is executing at a very high level?
Honestly, a little bit of both. Obviously, they're a good team, but when you let a good team do what they want to do, you're going to have a long night. And it just started from the get-go. Their first 3 buckets, we had to call a timeout and go, guys, this is exactly what we showed you on film. This is exactly what we talked about, what we showed you, what we harped on. And they just came out and did it. And it was like, it just kept happening over and over and over. And we just couldn't get out of that funk. And then when we did, we just couldn't come up with a board, or, they hit a 3 from guys that we were okay with shooting it there. And things like that happen. Kids hit shots, and tonight their kids hit shots, and their kids made more plays than ours did. But, back to the keys, we were terrible on those 3 keys. It was not good enough. Usually, if we do 2 of those things okay, we're going to win, and we were bad at all 3 of them.
Andrew.
Well, coming into this game, the Blue Jays have been able to hold their opponents to 26% from behind the 3-point line, and Roncalli just did more than double that with about 55 tonight. So was there anything specifically that the Blue Jays weren't quite executing as well on, or were they just having a really hot night and that's hard to stop?
You know, honestly, I'm okay with the bank 3 at the end and the 2 from 22. So that's probably half their threes, and those had not gone in their 4 to 5 games previously. So we're going to live with those things, and they just came at really big times for them. Sometimes it's not how many you make, but when you make them, and they made them at those kind of crunch time, crucial times. So, you know, our 3-point, we wanted them to shoot some threes because they're so good in transition and they're so good off the dribble that we felt if they were taking some outside shots, we could rebound it and maybe go a little bit. The problem is a couple more fell than we would have liked.
And it's not often that I ask you about other players, but in a game like this, which to me, this was just an absolute reward for all of us to see. It was a privilege to really watch this game. But Austin Schwartz, number 3, I thought was just brilliant defensively, and I'm wondering if you can comment on him, and also, of course, Jake Orr, who really just, I mean, he was phenomenal tonight. Not often that I ask you about other players, but maybe you can comment on both of those players.
Yeah, three did a good job. You know, offensively, he's skilled and quick and can get out there and finish at the rim. Defensively, he did a good job on Cale. You know, part of that's probably defense. Honestly, part of it is just Cale not being himself tonight. And is that due to the defense or what? He settled for some early mid-range shots that were just terrible, and I haven't seen that from him in, you know, the 2.5 years he's played, settling like that. You know, he's a guy that can get to the basket and finish strong. You know, here in the second half, he was off balance on that layup. I think even he was sped up, playing too fast, frustrated that maybe things got more physical than he would have liked, where maybe he gets to the foul line a little bit more. You know, they did a good job of taking him out of the game because he struggled tonight more so than I've probably ever seen him. And I don't know how many he finished with, but he had to work for those, and they just weren't real clean looks, some of them. And then obviously we knew Orr was going to be a handful for us to contain because he's such a good passer. And he's good off the dribble and in transition. He's a good rebounder, so the ball's in his hands a lot. You know, he hit some threes, which we were hoping he wouldn't do. We knew he could finish at the rim. I felt we just let him get there a little bit too often, but, you know, that's what good players do. They make plays in big games, and that's kind of what happened tonight. Their kids made bigger plays than our kids.
Right. Well, and I'm going to end on this here, Coach. You've got such a short turnaround, right? Less than 24 hours. You've got to play a game tomorrow. And I asked Coach Hubert this. How do you do that from a coaching perspective? You don't have time to really break down a ton of film and go into the players and say, let's work on this before your game tomorrow. So how do you get, you know, the X's and O's and everything prepared for tomorrow?
You know, just for us, it's simple. It's do what you do.
Yeah.
So we don't need to. You know, obviously we have some film, or we can watch some stuff, or they played earlier and they've watched us, we've watched them, but we just have to do what we do. And tonight we didn't do that. Honestly, you're glad it's a quick turnaround because we need to get back into a game and go, this is who we are and this is what we do. And tonight, boy, we just, you know, we did not do that. And so you look at some of the little things, like, did we ever have an attack kick 3? I mean, that's what we've lived on for 5 games. We didn't have. I don't know that we had one tonight because we were so concerned with the pace, with their speeding us up, with whatever it was. They took us out of what we wanted to do. So I'm glad that we get to come back tomorrow. We get to play and clean that up, and then have a couple days of rest and practice, and come back and get back into, you know, the conference games and the regular season games.
All right, Coach, well, we're going to let you go. And listen, heartbreaking loss, but bounce back tomorrow. And I know you guys you'll be that Ashland-Greenwood squad that you've been all year.
Yep, thanks for calling the game, guys.
Absolutely, bud. Thank you, Coach Mose. This has to be a hard one for him to come up here and walk through, but we appreciate him doing it. Andrew, what a basketball game. We've said it a million times. With that said, I'm going to give you the final word here, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, I don't really have too much to say. It was just A few minor mistakes on the Blue Jay side. Nothing really huge that we did wrong. Just a very well-fought game from both sides, and Roncalli walks away with the win.
Aren't you glad you came back from college this week? You've seen Wahoo and that game. You saw this game today. You know, this is a great gift, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough loss, but it was a very fun game the whole way through.
It was an incredible basketball game. Hate to see the Blue Jays lose it, but kudos to Roncalli. They played a great game, as did the Blue Jays. So once again, Roncalli moves on. They will play Archbishop Bergen tomorrow at 3:45 in the championship. We will have it right here on Strive, so make sure you tune us in. Of course, the Ashland-Greenwood girls are battling for a championship tomorrow. They will play at around 2 o'clock. The Blue Jay boys will tip off at around 12:15 as they will take on Plattsmouth. So that's our lineup tomorrow. Make sure you join us for an incredible crew of Jordan Wallman and, oh my gosh, Andrew, you got to help me. Jordan Wallman helped tonight. Annie Thotchek. We had a bunch of them.
A lot.
The man to my right here, Andrew Berman. I'm Tim Washburn saying so long. We'll see